The following podcast is dedicated to sonic excellence.
Harry had a little man.
Fun with sound.
Donk. Hello and welcome to the Parp Donk Podcast, a beginner's guide to sound design. Come on, let's have some fun.
Episode 5, Spooge. Audio interfaces.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of Parp Donk.
Woohoo! I'm Jim.
And I'm John.
And I'm Amanda, and we also have Karen in the studio, and we have Pippin.
Little Pippin.
Pippin the wolf.
A bit of a,
Parp dog.
yeah.
The Parp dog.
The Parp dog.
The Parp dog.
The Parp pup.
So the 5 of us today are going to be talking about audio interfaces that we use when recording.
Right, which is
The
terribly
next step.
exciting subject, right? So,
Yeah, well, it's the next step. It's the
It's
next
the next
step,
step.
after the mic pre.
So why do we need an audio interface?
Well, an audio interface is a very important part. It gets your sound into the computer and out of the computer as well. So,
Yeah, it translates it. In digital land,
right.
we actually don't remain analogous to the waveform. You know, that's where the word analog comes from, the fact that when we change from the physical to the electrical signal is analogous in terms of electrons to the actual physical waveform. When you're in digital land, you've got to have the computer understand what you're coming in with. And computers don't work that way. Computers only know ones and zeros.
Right, and speakers and microphones don't work that way. You can't take a digital signal and just stick it into a speaker, or because it won't.
Correct.
It's not going to work.
You have to convert it. You
Right.
have to convert it into a digital signal, which is a bunch of numbers.
Right.
And it changes that dimension, that length of loudness and softness into a number that the computer can understand. And it's either a 16-bit number or a 24-bit number. Nowadays we have 32-bit numbers
And 32-bit floating.
and 32-bit floating.
Right.
But that's generally what 32 ends
Yeah.
up as. But the internal stuff works at 32.
Yeah. And 24 is usually, that's the industry standard. So,
24 is the standard now.
Yeah.
It'll eventually be 32.
right.
The reason it didn't just jump to 32 is that nobody uses 32.
This is the bit depth.
You would have to change television. I used to do freelance over at AMC Networks. And when they got the new Pro Tools in, they installed that on all the stations. And I went in one day and I opened it up and I was, just seeing what was in there. I said, ooh, 32-bit. I bet you that sounds great. So I did my session at 32-bit. And I came in like 2 days later and they're like, Terelle, did you do your session at 32-bit?
Uh-oh.
And I was like, yeah, no, it was me. No, I said, yeah, why? And they said, you can't use 32-bit. Nobody uses 32-bit. We had to have somebody come in from New Jersey and redo your session. It was I was like, and you called me again?
Yeah, right. I heard from you at all after that.
I must have liked you, John.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So maybe we should go through what common features are on interfaces,
In and out.
Basically.
Those are the 2 most popular.
Yeah. No, but in the front you get your mic line inputs.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, right. You'll have a mic line in and you'll have a line in.
Yep. And you'll have, headphones, right? Headphone output. Yeah, and then you have, then you have your gain knobs for the inputs.
Well, that's more the mic pre, though.
What I'm saying is most entry-level ones do have mic preamps in them. So, and that's all it's saying.
Right.
And then, but this is something to look out for when you buy one of these things, because mic preamps can vary in quality,
Right.
It's kind of, you get what you pay for in mic pre's, but you have to listen and because it is a personal selection as well, so.
One thing I will say about them is, in the digital world, when you're working in your DAW and you're putting a plug-in on the track and you see something that says saturation, it'll say saturation, or it'll say harmonic something or other, or it'll say, what's the other one? It starts with an E. Emphasis, not emphasis. It's but there's like 3 words, and what that is it's an attempt to emulate
Tape.
the drive that you get on an analog mic pre.
Right. Oh yeah. Right. Yep.
then that's what it's trying to emulate. So when you see saturation, it's really talking about distortion. Everybody wanted the pristine quality of digital, and when they got it, it was kind of like
something was missing.
It was kind of like watch out what you wish for.
Yeah. It's funny. It sounds like when you use photo editing software, like a photo editing app, you have all those words like saturation and contrast.
Yeah.
And it's all stuff that was used in actual photo development.
It's funny though, you're right, because it seems everyone tries to get back to analog.
Yeah,
So.
in film, everybody misses the graininess.
Yeah, yeah. John's got an 8-track in his car still, so...
Yes, absolutely. We listen to the best of Bread every time.
Oh my God, I love
drive up
that.
here.
Bachman Turner Overdrive,
Yeah.
the best of Bread.
And now, a word from Parp Donk.
The power of Parp. The power of Donk. Now with a daffodil fresh scent.
Hey, you!
One Parp Donk in your dryer keeps clothes soft and early spring fresh for up to 57 days.
Hey, you!
Best of all, it's downloadable at parpdonk.com.
Oh my God, what's that smell?
Parp Donk. It's amazing what a little donk can do.
So I am just starting out as an audio engineer, and I need
I'm
an
sorry.
interface. Yeah. Thank you for the condolences. I needed that.
Where do we send the flowers? No.
I need an interface. Where's a good place for me to start? Like, what should
Well, I guess the question is, what are you trying to do?
I would be recording voice?
So just one.
Yeah, so just one voice.
You're lucky.
Yeah, and plus you might want to always... I mean, you could get away with an interface with one mic input.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, I'm just speaking hypothetically.
No, yeah, so...
because
but
I already have one, but
it's kind
I
of good
want
to
you to
buy
tell me
something
what-
that you can grow into two.
Yeah,
you maybe
right.
get two mics, because you have one, you're like, God, I wish I could play guitar and sing at the same time. Or
Well, a good place to start, I think, is Focusrite.
Yeah.
Not that we're not not that we're endorsing them or
Yeah.
but they're a good place to start because you're getting some quality for the amount of money you're paying.
Yeah, and the converters are actually pretty good in those.
Yeah.
Universal Audio, I think, is also a good
Also,
one.
Universal Audio, those twin things. They
The
have
Volt.
another the Volt. Yeah, that's it. The Volt.
I ordered a plug-in. I got something from them, and they gave me a free Volt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I know, it's upstairs. I use it. I like it.
So yes, you didn't know this, but the one that I actually have for my VO recording is the Scarlett
Oh,
2i2 from
Yeah, that's-
Focusrite.
Yep.
Yeah,
Very popular. Yeah.
and it has 2 mic inputs.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
What mic do you have, anyhow?
I have an Audio Technica 2020.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I want to upgrade. Of course, I would rather have one like the one I'm talking on now because I notice how much better it sounds. But
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, no, I've booked jobs with it. I've
Actually,
done remote sessions.
There's knockoffs of these now too.
Yeah,
Well,
I bet.
those Austrian ones.
Those are.
The Austrian.
If I didn't have these,
Oof, yeah.
yeah, those are nice too. Anyhow.
Anyhow, do you want to talk about latency at all now? Because
Well, maybe we should talk converters first. Yeah. So again, as John was saying, if you have an analog signal, when you send a digital file, that's not analog. And MP3s or waves. So how do you get to that? So you have to take an analog. So you have a microphone. This is all analog, and it's going to go into your DAW. So you want to convert that into something your computer can read.
Mm-hmm.
A converter does that actually. So there's a to D, so analog to digital going into the box and back out as digital to analog.
Right.
So it gets converts twice. So actually, and what is it called if I talk through the microphone and it goes all the way through, gets converted, goes into my interface, into my DAW. Digital audio workstation, by the way. John mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Just make sure people know. And then
it's
it gets
always good
converted-
to refresh your memory.
And then it gets converted again and comes back out and comes to my headphone. That's called a round trip latency. And then you can hear latency then, depending on how you're monitoring.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the way that you do this is through pulse code modulation.
Yep. PCM. Yep.
Yeah, and basically what's happening is that every converter is basically a clock. It's a clock, and it's ticking. It's tick, 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 and how fast your clock ticks will give you the resolution of the converter. And the higher the resolution, the better it's going to sound because it's taking more pictures of your sound wave in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
So this thing is ticking, right? And the lowest you can get and still have a good signal, a full frequency signal, is 44.1 kilohertz.
Okay.
That's how fast the clock has to tick per second. So 44.1, if you've ever dealt with digital, is probably familiar to you because it's what
That's the
it's what CD. It's a CD
quality
sample rate. So if this thing is ticking 44.1 times per second, 44,100 times per second, every time it hits the signal, it's taking a little picture in numbers of where that signal is at. And then on the outside, on the output, you do the same thing in reverse. You take little points that the clock is predicting, and you connect the dots.
But it also,
connect
smooths
the dots.
it out
Yeah.
when you connect the dots.
It smooths it out and turns it back into an analog signal. Now the question is, why 44.1? Right? This is a number that mystifies people.
Right.
It did me for a long time.
What
It's
is
like, why that particular
that
number?
About,
For high fidelity, you have to have at least 2 points to represent every frequency that you're going to convert. And this is called the Nyquist theorem. The Nyquist theorem says, in essence, it's complicated, but what it says in essence is that for every sine wave, and sound is just a collection of sine waves, for the highest sound wave, the one that's traveling 20,000 times per second, because our hearing goes from 20 hertz to 20K, about, some little bit beyond. But this
What?
This 20
Well,
this
teenagers and young people.
this 20K limit, you have to have at least 40,000
double
clock ticks to represent it, because you need one for the trough and one for the peak. Now we also have to end up with a result and be able to record it to something so we have a tangible form for the sound.
Yeah.
Right, so we can copyright it. Right?
License it to everyone.
And be able to reproduce it over and over again. So at the time there was nothing to record this into, and this became a problem. And the way they solved it is they found a Sony tape recorder, of course. Sony and Philips were behind this. They found a Sony videotape recorder that used the drum. And we're getting technical here, but it had a drum head arrangement inside to be able to play back video signals into your television set. And so regular magnetic tape wouldn't do this. You had to have a videotape. And the videotape, because it's a revolving drum and you're passing the tape over the heads while it's revolving, it prints the information on a slant. And it so happens that they come in complete lines, and at the end of the recording on the videotape, it ended at 44.1 thousand kilohertz.
So
right?
that's how they arrived at,
So that's how they arrived at
where it ended.
44.1, yeah.
And that's why they later created DAT tapes, because it also has a rotating head.
Right.
So digital audio tape DAT, which was a format for a while that I thought that was going to take off, but it didn't. It did for a while, actually. When we had
it was huge for a while.
I still have DATs.
For a very short while.
But they really thought that was going to be the...
what they were doing with the videotape, they now had a tape recorder that did it specifically for audio.
Yeah.
Right? That was the digital audio tape. And
It's
that
redundant.
that one ended on a nice whole round number because it was designed to, and that was 48K.
Yeah. Right.
So now when you and everybody figures, 48 must be so much better than 44. But it's not. It's like marginally better.
Yeah.
It's like tiny little bit better. But it's really because they wanted to get to a point where they had a whole number.
I see.
Right? And the technology wouldn't give them a whole number previously, which is why we're still stuck with 44.1. But that's the digital story.
But latency.
Thank you for the digital story.
Hey,
I feel
kids.
like now I know it all.
Daddy, read me another digital story.
One more and then it's sleep.
Right. Aw, just one more?
So go
Can't
back.
I have 3 more? my time at Clack Studios, where I was an intern, I sat behind the desk and, welcomed the people to reception and all of that fun stuff and listened to the little boombox behind me. So, it was about 1994 to 99. And I saw a lot of DATs. DAT tapes were flying off that desk and going to the messenger service and made a lot of printed labels for the DATs. And so whenever I see a DAT these days, it brings me right back to those wonderful times.
You should get like a DAT necklace or something.
I know, really. I should have like a little miniature gold DAT to wear around my neck.
The warm feeling of a DAT tape.
Yeah. Yeah, but it must have been very exciting for the two of you to see the advent of CDs because you started.
Well, even digital. Yeah.
Digital anything.
Yeah. Well, the CDs, I remember with Double D. I remember getting in his Volkswagen, and he was the first guy who had a CD player, and he had it in his car, and I was like, oh my God, that is so cool, so...
So that would have been when, like 85 or something?
Yeah, late 80s probably. Yeah. But to your point, I remember, so we started on tape because we're like 110 years old, and just seeing Pro Tools come in, I remember Michael got the first Pro Tools rig at Clack, and I remember walking into his room, and he's like, with the mouse, because analog, the tape is very tactile. You're cutting your feet.
Cutting with razor blades.
It's like a little show kind of. And he was sitting there with the mouse, and I remember walking in. I was like, I'm never doing that. I remember sitting there.
And look at us.
And now I like it.
Well, we used to have arguments about that. Because I went to school for computer music.
Oh yeah, so John was more accepting.
So when I came out of school, I was like, that's where I wanted to be, right?
Yeah. That's so funny.
And Jim and I and a friend of ours would sit in a bar till like 4 o'clock in the morning, arguing about.
Yeah. and it's funny because I remember when we first started going on Pro Tools, we didn't completely trust it. Remember we'd run a backup.
Oh right.
We'd run a backup DAT. Of the session, because we're like, this thing is, I don't know, it can blow up at any time, right? But latency, right? I don't know if we ever answered the.
Okay, latency.
What is latency, John? And what are you?
Well, what latency is that when you get into the converter, you get the processing to do this takes a certain amount of time, right? And
the round trip.
It's not much.
Round trip,
it's not much time, but to do the round trip.
Yep.
And go through the processor. And here's the deal. You're going to have a buffer because what we consider to be, a steady stream of sound coming out of this device actually isn't. It's packets of sound. It's packets of sound in the computer or the converter, which is basically a little computer. What you're doing is you're lining up a packet of sound of a certain size because the computer has to do a number of different other jobs.
Right.
And it takes the machine brain a certain amount of time to do this, depending on how powerful your processor is,
how good your computer is,
how big of a buffer
and again, back to your sample rate too, because the higher the sample rate, your computer has to work. All the plugins have to work harder, so that takes longer. So.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Right.
And the computer has to figure out how to make that work, right?
Right. So the faster your computer, the better. But still, there's going to be.
Yeah, and then that's where the buffer comes in.
Yep.
Because the faster the buffer, which is the lower the latency, and what latency is a delay.
So you hear things wrong. You hear
so if you're trying
with
to
an echo.
Sing or play an instrument to a track, and there's latency above like 8 milliseconds. I think that's kind of like the. After that, it's impossible, or it's very hard. Yeah. But you're definitely thinking about that and not thinking about the performance.
Right, it's super distracting.
You're like, you're trying to, it's...
Yeah, first it'll start to sound like it's phasing.
Yeah.
Then you get this kind of stuff happening. And then it becomes a complete double, which is unnerving to a person who just expects to hear their voice. And,
Oh, yeah, and like when you're talking on the phone and there's a bad connection and you just hear... Yeah,
you're talking and you're hearing yourself
voice,
a
like
tiny little bit of
behind. Yeah.
And the more processing the longer the buffer to ease up the pressure on the processor, you use a bigger buffer. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
And you're hearing this as you're saying, as I'm talking, you're hearing yourself as I'm talking.
Right.
So on your Scarlett, you have a. I don't know, it's called direct monitoring maybe on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that all that's doing is it's not going through
The process.
It's just going to your headphones.
Right.
So the mic is right. So then it's taken out of the loop. So that whole problem.
And that works out great until somebody says, "Can we put auto-tune on this?"
Yeah, right.
Because you can't put auto-tune on
No,
that.
you can't. Well, you do it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not when you're sitting in the chair and I don't know, the future says to you, "Can we get rid of
Reverb.
latency?"
No, you
You're
can't.
like, well, we can't have auto-tune. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
John's not very
I
good
can't
at it.
do something that I wanted to do.
Well, you would never need auto-tune anyhow, probably.
Of course not. So yeah, I mean, speaking of these brands, we're saying Focusrite a lot, and Universal Audio, and
And SSL has a good one now.
Yeah.
SSL has a good one.
Yeah.
And so SSL is a big console company, English, and they make great sounding preamps, EQs. You know, that's the SSL sound. Isn't that what you're on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you're paying for that. So in that audio interface, you get the SSL preamps. So it's kind of like, if you want that, you get that,
A good one also is Cranbourne.
Cranbourne, exactly.
Cranbourne is unique. We should devote
they make a lot of cool stuff, actually.
we should devote an episode to just talking about that system of doing things.
Maybe Cranbourne would like to sponsor us.
Maybe, yeah. We should.
Cranbourne people, if you're listening, and I know you are.
They're English as well, too, I think so.
If you're listening, governor. Jim, you made a handy-dandy list of interfaces that you personally like.
Oh, just a bunch of...
Yeah.
So
Prism.
So Prism's going to be high-end.
Yeah, that's really expensive.
And so, again...
For mastering.
Yeah, and again, Neumann is on there, too. They make a beautiful one. But again, these are you're paying for the converters, especially in those. I mean, really, if audio interfaces, I think, if your song is good, your podcast is good or something, it's going to be good either way. We're at a level with the interfaces; they all sound pretty good. Yeah. So, do you need the $5,000 one starting out? No, I don't think so.
No.
I worry more about your content than, right? I mean.
Yeah. Write a great song.
Yeah.
Write a great song. That's the first objective.
Yeah.
When you write the great song, try to make it sound as good as possible. But even if it doesn't sound that good, if it's a great song, people will get it, that it's a great song.
Yeah. And someone will put it in a fancier audio interface then, so we get it.
Right, yeah. If you're good enough, then you can work with people who already have the equipment, and you don't have to buy it yourself. Yeah.
And they'll give you money to do it, and then they'll demand it back.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And then you'll wish you listened to your mother and became a lawyer or a doctor. So.
So heartwarming.
I told you,
so
sweetheart.
optimistic.
No, listen, it's a lot of fun, doing this stuff. Don't you think, John? I mean, it's great.
Shut up, Dad. I'm booting up.
Yeah.
But no, that's the bottom line, is that this stuff really is fun. Well, thanks to you both for this vast array of technical knowledge.
Well, that's 2 hours. I'm sorry, 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Good. We should be able to cut that down.
Yeah, Amanda, get to work.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll be out drinking champagne.
All right, I'm going to stop, right?
No, wait, we have to say goodbye.
Oh!
Thanks so much for listening to Parp Dunk. We'll see you next time.
So long from Sonic Heaven. Oh,
Wow.
John, squeeze him so he doesn't sound.